Welcome back to The Mirror Moves, where every act of entitlement meets poetic justice. Today's story dives deep into a neighborhood power trip gone violently wrong. It started with a title, HOA President. It ended with handcuffs, broken pride, and a courtroom echo. This is what happens when power is abused, and karma calls the cops. Life under an HOA is a delicate balance. The rules sound simple: no overgrown lawns, no outrageous paint jobs, no neon gnomes. But it's not the rules themselves that torment you. It's the people who enforce them. In our case, that person was Sandra Dillon. Tall, broad-shouldered, sharp jawline. Always dressed in bubblegum pink polos tucked into beige slacks, chunky silver bracelets rattling on her wrists. She moved like a drill sergeant in heels and spoke like every sentence was a citation. Sandra was proudly queer and openly aggressive about it. And while our neighborhood prided itself on progress and acceptance, Sandra weaponized her identity like a shield and a sword. She was the self-declared Queen of Oak Crest Circle, holding the HOA presidency like a royal decree. And when I, Eli Navarro, moved into the fixer-upper at Lot 14 with my rescue dog and rusty truck, she saw me as a threat to her empire. It started small. "Your mailbox leans," she said, not even a day after I moved in. I smiled and said I'd fix it. "Your grass is an inch too long. Your dog barked during quiet hours. Your curtains are dark red. The guidelines recommend neutral tones." I thought it was just a controlling neighbor. But it became clear this was personal. Sandra patrolled the block daily, clipboard in hand, eyeing every home like a prison warden. But mine? She circled it like prey. Then came the misgendering incident. I was in the garage installing shelves when she stormed in without knocking. Not even a courtesy knock. "Sir, you can't store chemicals that close to the entryway." I turned. "Sandra, it's just a bottle of motor oil. And it's my garage." She bristled. "Also, do not call me Sandra. It's President Dillon to you." I laughed. Big mistake. Her eyes narrowed like I'd committed blasphemy. "And for your information, it's ma'am." I blinked. You just called me, sir, 2 seconds ago. That's different. Don't twist this." She left in a storm. But that night, a notice was pinned to my door. Formal citation for disrespecting an HOA official. I thought it was a joke. It wasn't. Over the next few weeks, the harassment intensified. Notes taped to my door. Photos taken of my trash cans. A violation warning for parking slightly over the faded curb line. Neighbors started to whisper. Many had their own run-ins with Sandra but feared speaking up. She was relentless. The HOA board? Mostly checked out or intimidated. Then came the barbecue. I hosted a small Saturday cookout, just 6 of us. Burgers, music, some lawn games. Nothing rowdy. Nothing loud. Sandra showed up uninvited, camcorder in hand. Noise violation. Unapproved gathering. Alcohol in public view. My friend Julia, sharp-tongued and fearless, rolled her eyes. "You need to calm down, sir." That did it. Sandra lunged forward, knocking over the cooler, screaming, "I'm a woman, you ignorant bigot." Gasps. My dog barked. Julia stepped back. But Sandra wasn't done. She shoved Julia hard. I stepped between them. "That's assault." Sandra's face flushed with rage. "I'm the authority here." She tried to slap the phone out of my hand, the one I had just started recording with. And when she missed, she grabbed a lawn chair and hurled it at the fence. The cops were called. Officer Reyes arrived in under 5 minutes. Thank God for small towns. We showed him the footage. He listened. Calmly. Professionally. Sandra tried to spin it. They provoked me. Mocked my identity. This is a hate crime. But the footage showed otherwise. Her shouting. Her pushing. Her destroying property. And then came the twist none of us expected. Officer Reyes turned to her and said, "Ma'am, I have to place you under arrest for assault, trespassing, and disturbing the peace." Her mouth dropped open. "You can't arrest me. I'm the HOA president. Which gives you no legal right to enter private property uninvited. Or to put your hands on someone." She was cuffed. Sandra screamed all the way to the cruiser. Neighbors peeked through windows. A few filmed. I stood in my yard, heart pounding, as she was driven away. The aftermath was surreal. The HOA board held an emergency meeting. Video footage was circulated. Multiple neighbors came forward with stories of harassment, intimidation, and bias. Some cried. Some laughed. Sandra was formally removed from her position. A restraining order barred her from approaching my house. Her house went up for sale 2 weeks later. I hosted another barbecue. This time, half the street showed up. Julia brought cupcakes shaped like handcuffs. Someone brought a piñata that looked suspiciously like a pink polo shirt. People talked again. Smiled again. The air felt lighter. Power, when unchecked, turns ordinary people into tyrants. Sandra wasn't evil. She was broken. And she let that brokenness bleed onto everyone around her. She mistook fear for respect. Control for love. Authority for friendship. But eventually, even the loudest gavel gets silenced. I never wanted a war. I just wanted to live. Quietly. Peacefully. But when peace is threatened by petty tyranny, sometimes you have to stand tall, not with fists, but with footage. Sandra taught us all a lesson. And while her fall was dramatic, it was also deserved. So the next time someone tells you, "I'm the HOA president," just smile, and check your camera battery. Because the mirror moves, and it never lies.